Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the T95, the Doom Turtle. It's the Tier 9 American tank destroyer. It's located on the westbourne of Paris, and this one is under the command of Andromeda. Now he's got the big gun, the 155mm gun, which is capable of 750 alpha, penetrating 276mm with standard ammo. With APCR it goes up to 320. Now, if you want to learn more about the T95 and or the T28 for that matter, because it's basically the same tank, you can see the actual real prototype on Sophie Line's channel. Yes, she actually... oh, no, don't shoot him. Although he shot you, there's no need to shoot him. Leave him alone. Yes, I was saying you can actually go to Sophie Line's channel and see the real thing. She actually got into one of these, the only one that's still in existence, and she also has a video where they actually fitted the second set of tracks onto the vehicle. Oh no, you're being naughty, you're pushing him out into enemy fire, and that's the action of the troll. Well, he auto-aimed at the enemy, but he didn't get a shot, and he actually got hit by the T-44 again. For that, yeah, that's not bad. And now he's trolling the Scorpion, but I know he was trying to turn round, so not a good start for Andromeda. And the T-44 is still trying to troll him. I frown on that behaviour. It's a waste of shells anyway. It's going to cost you credits to actually replace the shells, and it's just pointless. You're not going to do any damage. Well, anyway, if you go to Sophie Line's channel, I'll leave a link in the description below. You can actually see the real thing. There's only one in existence, I believe now, and it's at the Fort Benning at the National Cavalry Museum, and it's a wonderful piece of kit, but it actually only has a 105mm gun, not the 155 that you see fitted here. I think they only intended to fit the 105 to start with, and this tank destroyer was originally devised to counter the German super heavy tanks that they were producing towards the end of the war, the E100, the Maus, all those sort of vehicles, but specifically to destroy the Tiger II and the E75 and those sort of tanks. But it wasn't needed after the end of the war, and so they discontinued production. Okay, after a very long break, he's finally caught up with the T-44, but hopefully he's not going to attack the T-44. Hopefully now he's going to go after the enemy. The Doom Turtle of old used to be the tank that would... oh no, he's still trolling. Used to be the player who would actually go out into the battlefield and receive hits from every direction and just shrug them off with a few bits of track damage. And he's just taken out his first victim, an E75 TS. Now the T-44 is going to try and troll him, but I don't think he's actually going to make much headway because there's a big difference in the weight of the tanks. That round went straight through the side of the Tortoise. So he's now up to 1k of damage. He locks onto the 50 TP, but the reload is so long he wasn't able to get a shell in time. There's a 704 up ahead of him. And yeah, he does need to take care because that guy does have a very big gun. But that one, the 50 TP, made a big mistake coming out from behind the house, and now he's out of the game. So 1.6k of actual damage done so far, as well as behaving a little silly by being a troll. You don't need to do that. He's a good player, Andromeda. He just doesn't need to troll other people. But I think he felt that he was trolled right at the start by the T-44 shooting him for no reason. Go on, straight in. There's the 704, and he's out the game now. He was one of the few that could have actually done real damage to Andromeda, but he failed to do so because he blocked the shot. He had a 152mm gun. And there's another one. That time the T32. So they're actually now 2 tanks up. They were behind, now they're up. And in fact the enemy is in retreat, and it's mostly down to Andromeda and his massive gun. I mean, yes, his teammates did have some part in this. You can't deny that. That tortoise stand there's been helping a lot. And now he's up against the Martian. This is where life gets very fun. Just go for the turret, that's it, yeah, we'll just go straight through. 702, a low roll. But the Martian, well, he's not going to be able to survive this gun, and the only thing he can do really is retreat. And you can see that Andromeda's aiming for the weak spot, and now he's out the game. He did track Andromeda first though, and there's that T-44 again. He's still alive, but I don't think he wants to get too close to Andromeda. They could still lose this game, and the T-44 is out of the game now because the enemy Arty, the 212A, managed to get around into him. That serves him right, really. Okay, round the corner we got another 704. So he's taking this very carefully. And the 704 bounces. But that round doesn't bounce. That went straight through the side of his vehicle. But of course he is going to fix his tracks before Andromeda can reload. So there we go. He's fixed his tracks, but he's about to be destroyed. Oh, no, he didn't get destruction. He got a low roll. 628, but I think the player has just given up because I think he thinks, well, there's no point. I'm not going to survive this. There we go. Gets hit by the same Arty. And there goes the 704. Okay, he did lose 257 hit points to a near miss from the 212A, who's obviously using the 203mm howitzer as his main armament. But, yeah, you can be sure Andromeda's on his way. He will get to that 212 eventually. Now, as you can see, Andromeda's actually had 3 high calibers at least since they had the distinction marks on, and he's plastered a Union flag right over the rear of his vehicle. You might ask why I call it a Union flag and not a Union Jack. Well, Union flags are only Union Jacks when they're on the jack stay of a Royal Navy vessel in port, and as a former member of Her Majesty's Andrew, as we call the Royal Navy, I can tell you that yeah, we're very particular about when the Union flag is a Union Jack and when it's not. Some people have now said, oh, well, by familiarity they call it the Union Jack, but no, it's only a Jack if it's on the jack stay, which is at the flagpole right at the front of the Royal Navy vessels, and it's only placed on that jack stay when the Royal Navy vessel is in port, nowhere else. So they never fly it when they're underway. They only put it out when they're in port and docked. Well, we can see the enemy tanks are there, but they're not coming out to play. I think it's because of the big boomstick. The SU-130PM was lining up a shot. He was trying to sneak round the corner, and it might be a good idea for Andromeda to turn at this moment, because that SU-130... oh, no, he's gone. I thought for a second he was going to get round there, but he got taken out by the SU-130PM on our team. And is he going to stay in the cap? No, he's going to go after the 212. Or is he? No, the 212 has been found by the Indian Panzer. And I think we can be certain that the Indian Panzer is going to finish him off. But it's a bit pointless for Andromeda to chase after the Charfu 204 because he's just so much faster. So it's much better for him to sit into the cap and start capping out and wait for the Charfu 204 to come to him. And in the meantime, he's going to back up against the back of the map to make it more difficult for the Charfu 204 to get around into him. That will actually do some real damage. He's going to have to poke his head around the corner on either side if he's going to get a pen. He needs to get it into the sides of the vehicle or onto the cupolas, and he's not going to do that with a snapshot. And the Charfu 204 does have an autoloader, but it's got a long delay, if I remember correctly, between each shot. So I don't think he's going to get a snapshot in and then fire another one carefully aimed afterwards. And if he does stick around long enough, yeah, there he is. He actually did cheat and come in by the side, and he's taken a big round as a result. So he's picked up some defense points. No, don't go after him, because it's pointless. He'll run away. I think at the moment Andromeda's just trying to accumulate extra camo. He's also trying to make it much more difficult for the GeForce to appear from that angle, but if I know that player, he'll probably try to double back around and come out at him from the other angle. But now he's been joined in the cap by the Indian Panzer, who finished off the 212A, and so if the GeForce appears from this direction, he's more than likely going to die. They're going to cap out very shortly. Now he's going to want to get some more defense points, but I doubt if he's going to be able to get them. Not without being snapped. And that's it. They've done it. It's a victory. He didn't want to come back, and oh, the 212A on our team was AFK. The second replay is on Pearl River, and it's under the command of SlyMeerkat. Okay, North Spawn. Now there's two ways of doing this. You can either go off to the far east side and go down the channels that way, or you can go straight to the village and try and cut through there and deny the village to anyone on the enemy team. I think that Sly is actually going to go all the way over to the far east side. Now it's a very slow speed in this vehicle, only 20 kilometers an hour forwards, 10 back. And it does have some vulnerabilities, those cupolas either side. You can see there's two on top, and of course if you can hit them in the sides and the rear, then you can get shots to pen. But it's those fuel tanks on the back, they make a lovely target for Arty. They are quite big. He's actually getting an assist from the Super Hellcat. That's nice. Here you go, big fella. Have a bit of a help. Always like it when you get a player who tries to assist you by giving you a boost of speed, even if the Hellcat can't really increase the speed of a T95, because, well, that's like trying to move a mountain.
Requesting support.
Now he's requesting the tortoise behind him actually provide support.
I appreciate it.
And he's thanking the Super Hellcat. Oh, that's nice as well. Always good to thank your colleagues. And the Super Hellcat responds. Nice. Okay, Super Hellcat needs to move away, because really he's not armoured enough for this fight. He needs to get away to a different position. He could actually fire from over in that area there, although that's fairly deep water. At least it is in some parts. He's now trying to use SlyMeerkat as mobile armour. No enemies turned up yet.
Help!
In fact, very few people from his team have actually turned up. The tortoise is still waiting. And yep, he's got somebody glued to his rear now. No, he's changed his mind. Nobody appears to have come down this route from the enemy team. And so it's probably better for Sly to actually go around this channel and attack the enemy in the village. Super Hellcat's moving south, but he hasn't found anyone. The tortoise and the 45 TP can take on whoever he finds. And looks like, yeah, the enemy is just not even bothered to come up the east route. And, well, Sly found an IS-3 and he's made him pay. And he's out the game. Thanks to the Striv S1. couple of enemy tanks have burst through a GSOR, and that's the T95. This is his counterpart, the Doom Turtle. He's just going to sit here above them, or is he going to push round? He's saying to the others they should come round and help. It doesn't look as if the T95 and GSOR are actually going to try and move forward to the cap. I think they are trying to disengage and come around this side. And that Wizzy 120, well, he's easy victim. Yep, 801 hit points. It went through the front of his vehicle, and now he's out of the game. The kill shot goes to the Jagdpanther. Now they're pushing, but it will make them vulnerable because, of course, Sly is above them, and he can shoot down onto them. And there you go. Oh! He didn't get that one in. It looked like it probably went into one of the tracks. But he can shoot down onto him. The T95 now realises how much danger he's in by being in that position. But Sly's just going to make him pay. And he's out the game. Yeah, big mistake. They should have come around this corner as the Wizzy 120 did. But Sly, well, he might have more difficulty trying to take out the GSOR if he keeps hugging the cliff. So he's actually decided to go down and deal with him face to face. Might as well. Oh, fantastic shot. Huge hit. High roll for 839. Okay, there's a Super Pershing up in the village. He's not going to be doing much. He daren't poke his head round the corner, because if he does, he'll get a 155mm shell coming the opposite way. He's cheeky, he's tried. The thing is, while he is poking that position, Sly can't go up towards the village, going to his left. So if the 45 TP can keep that guy occupied, then Sly can go up here into the village. He's trying to be as careful as he can, doesn't want to expose his sides to that Super Pershing. I think the Super Pershing suddenly realises he's kind of trapped in that village. Well, he's going to have to dive out of it through one of the exit points, going over the edge of the cliff or down into the second level, the lower level.
Help!
Okay, Sly's going to go in, even though he's got no support at the moment. And it looks like, yeah, the Super Pershing is trying to escape. And he has escaped from the village, yes, so he's managed to get out. So Sly should just turn around now and come back out. The village is ours. But instead he's continuing into the village. I think he wants to shoot using this position on some of the enemy tanks that are in sight. But there aren't that many enemy tanks in sight at the moment. Oh, I'd say that, but then he spots the Tier 7 Scorpion. The American tank destroyer with actually no armour whatsoever. It's basically paper thin armour on the Scorpion. Oh, and that support is a bit in the way.
Withdraw from that position.
I keep wondering if he's going to turn around and go down to the second level and then drop onto the enemy tanks, but I think he wants to just leave the village and come round the traditional way to take them out from the other angle. He is possibly, if he goes after the T26 E5 and the E4 rather, and the other enemy there, which is the I'm trying to remember which one that is. Is it an Achilles? No, it's an AMX 1375. If he does go after those, the Scorpion's going to shoot him in the side. And he's got a 90mm gun, so he can probably get through the armour. Well, I think I understand what he's doing now, but again, I'm puzzled as to why he wants to do it, because if he goes round the corner to his right, he would actually be able to come down on top of the T26, but he's decided instead to go back into the village. So he's being a bit indecisive here. In fact, actually, the other members of the team are saying, will you do something? Well, he does have a kill and he does have a lot of damage, but he's being very indecisive. As I said originally, he could have gone into the village, dropped down to the other level and gone over the edge of the cliff. And he's saying to them, yeah, give me 5 hours. And the thing is, this tank destroyer is so incredibly slow. And the 1375 managed to make it around, and he was spotted, which persuaded him not to come into the village. But I think that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to lure Sly to come out and face him so he can get behind Sly and then start pumping those rounds into him. I think he's actually very much... Oh, that's better. 700 hit points, low roll. Keep your back against the building. Now he can't get through the armour with that 75mm from the front, so he's having to run away. And he is a one-shot now. And, whoa, the super Pershing turned up. Bad mistake. And he takes a round for 704. So potential high caliber. And he's getting his back to the wall so he can try another shot at the E4 without the AMX 1375 interfering, and he did. And there goes the super Pershing, and the AMX 1375 dies to the M53 M55 who was watching what was going on. There's only 3 left on their team, and there's 5 enemy. Given the current state of affairs, I'd actually think it's probably better for Sly to go back to his own cap, because I'm pretty sure the enemy is going to go up the west side of the map. They're not going to come after him directly because they've already seen that he's got masses of hit points. He's got a very big gun, and he's already killed two of their teammates, and he's done a huge amount of damage, 4.5k of damage already. And yeah, they are going up the west side. They don't want to come near him. He is going to be able to snipe at them at a distance, but he would have been better if he'd gone back to the cap, I think. Trying for a shot, no, too late. Might get a shot in that strip. He's trying to encourage them to fall back or his teammates to fall back so he can get shots. Misses the Jagdpanther, and we've lost our Jagdpanther. But those guys are now going to know that there is a big 155mm gun pointed in their direction. No, you're not getting shot. It's actually deflated. Yeah, as I said, he should have gone back to the cap. And we're going to lose the M53, M55 now because he won't be able to get a shot from this angle. Yeah. That is unfortunate. And although he can get shots on the cap, there are places in that cap that Scorpion can sit without being seen. So, could have lost hit points going down that area. He can now see the cap, but of course the Scorpion is sitting behind the house. And this is not a wise decision, but he's going down. He has lost some hit points to that Scorpion. The Striv is in the cap as well. Two in the cap. And he's been tracked by the Striv. Well, they're about to have the 2-minute warning. Only one of them's in the cap now. You get a shot on the Jagdpanther. He possibly can. They can't pen him from the front. That's the problem. And there goes the Jagdpanther. Oh, the Ferdinand's turned up, and he's behind Sly, so Sly has to move forward, because if he can't turn to face the Ferdinand without the other guys getting shots at his ass. So he's got the ground beneath him, and there goes the strip. Now, he's turning to face the Ferdinand. Only the Scorpion behind him, but he takes a round and puts it in. And, oh, he's got a fire on the Ferdinand. But he had a fire extinguisher go off. He's taking 90mm rounds from the Scorpion. Engine on the Ferdinand's up front. And now he's dead. So there's only one enemy left. It's the Scorpion. He's quite fast. He's easily going to be able to get away without Sly being able to do anything about it. And we're in the last minute. If Sly tries to get back to the cap to shoot the Scorpion, he'll just run away. The Scorpion's trying to get shots on him, which is pointless because he'll never penetrate the front of the vehicle. And there's the enemy Arty, the GW Tiger. And he misses him. And he's angry about that. And you can see rounds missing him from the Scorpion as well. Bouncing 90mm rounds. The GW doesn't even need to come in sight now. The Scorpion's doing all the spotting he needs. Oh! Well, that's one way of fixing it. He's got a top gun, but he won't get that Scorpion. I'm surprised the Scorpion actually managed to pin him with an armor-piercing round. And that's it. Game's over. It's a draw. So he got 6 kills, more than 1/3 of the enemy team, but unfortunately he couldn't get the win. He didn't go back to his cap, and if he had gone back to his cap, I think it would have been incredibly difficult for the enemy to hold that position and to try and get at him. So, but he actually survived the battle with minimal hit points. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats for the first battle with Andromeda and then Sly's battle. And here's the end of battle results for the first game with Andromeda on Paris. He managed to get an ace tanker in that game, as well as a shell proof for blocking more damage than the hit points for his own vehicle, and of course a fire effect for doing more damage than the hit points for his own vehicle, together with a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and a top gun for getting at least 6 kills. His win rate from the game was 7,291. He said 6 kills and an annoying T44. Well, he was, but I think actually it was a case of he was provoking you and you were falling for it and doing it in return, and he continued to do it until he died. If we look at the team score, we can see that you did get the highest damage with 5,711 hit points, with the second highest damage, the Tortoise, 4,727. That was the guy on the enemy team, followed by the Tortoise on your own team with 2,669 hit points. When it came to kills, you easily had the highest amount, which is 2/5 of the enemy team, 6 kills. 3 kills went to the Tortoise, the Charfuture 4, who did survive but just didn't come back to try and get another reset. And when it came to base XP, yes, you got the top in that one as well. Top in all 3 columns, 1,351 base experience points. You're the only one over 1,000. And right at the top of the table, the next high scorer being the Indian Panzer, who also survived with 959. Fired 13 rounds, 12 of those got direct hits and 11 penetrated, so just 1 shot astray, 1 shot didn't pen. 5,711 hit points, all of it done at close range. You received 11 hits from the enemy, only 1 of which actually penetrated, and I think that was the Charfuture 4 right at the end. Yes, he actually finally got a pen into you and to your side because he popped up from an unusual angle. 7 non-penetrations and 1 hit by way of splash damage as well. 2,750 hit points of damage blocked by armor. The 1 hit that was hit by a splash, that was the 212A. 8 enemy vehicles were damaged, 6 were killed, and 49 hit points of damage assistance. And you got 69 capture points in the cap. So you did miss out on getting an invader, but I think actually it was just better that you capped out in the end. 71,991 credits on a premium count, 50,000 for completing the mission and events, a total of 121,991. This was over the Christmas period, so that's holiday ops, by the way. I always said, no, that's the mission completion, isn't it? First win of the day. 6,000 and, well, After repair and ammunition resupply, I don't normally read those out, he actually took away a profit of 81,041 credits altogether, and 2,026 XP, which is quite high, times 2 for the first victory, took away 4,053 experience points altogether. So not a bad game there by Andromeda. He finally did manage to get the win. I think he decided that there was no point in him going down to try and kill the Arty. He was just too slow to get down there. He decided to stay in the cap, which was the right thing to do. I think I would have been tempted to stay at the back of the cap rather than to go to the front. But I think actually I agree that Andromeda was right after all to do what he did, to move forward, because it actually presented 2 targets to the Charfuture 4. If he had come back, he would have only been able to hit one with it before he was hit, and so he would only have got a partial reset, and then he would have been taken out of the game anyway. So a good game by Andromeda. Just don't troll, don't feed the trolls, don't react to them, don't chase after them, and certainly don't push them out into enemy fire, because that will get you the label of being a troll for doing what you did there. Let's have a look at the second battle. That was the one on Pearl River with SlyMeerkat, and that was also an ace tanker for Sly. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 11 in that one. A duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, and a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle, as well as a shell proof for blocking more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle. He got a steel wall in that one. He blocked the most damage in the game overall, at least 11 hits and over 1,000 potential damage. He survived the battle as well, because you have to survive in order to get the steel wall. He got a high caliber for dealing the most damage on the enemy, and he also got a top gun for getting 6 kills right at the end. He finally managed to get the GW, which gave him that top gun, but I'm afraid he just couldn't get a shot into the Scorpion in time to win. In fact, very, very good of him to actually survive that encounter with the Ferdinand, because obviously when you've got guys sitting in front of you shooting at you, and then a guy turns up and starts shooting at your rear, the temptation is just to turn round and unload into the guy who's shooting into your rear, and of course that's normally fatal, because the guys who are shooting from your front will then get a chance to shoot at your rear instead. But he did the right thing. He got some hard ground between him and the Ferdinand, forced the Ferdinand to come around and face him face to face, and also got below the gun depression of the enemy tanks that were firing to his front, and then enabled him to get that nice kill on the Ferdinand. Let's have a look at the team scores to see where he was. Top of the table, 7,150 hit points of damage, a very, very high score, because the next highest scorer only had 3,437 hit points, and that was the Batchat Baraska on the enemy team. And after that, it was the M53, M55 on his own team, who actually did help him during that game by saving his neck at one particular point. 3,197 hit points of damage to him. When it came to kills, he got the highest number of those with 6, which is 2/5 of the enemy team. The next high scorer being the Brass with 4 kills. 3 kills went to the Scorpion on his own team. And when it came to base XP, he's got the top in that one as well. Top in all 3 columns. 1,114 base to him, the only player over 1,000. The next high scorer being the Baraska on the enemy team with 712, and there's the M56 Scorpion who survived. He got 1,812 hit points of damage. He did get a shot into SlyMeerkat, 1 kill, and he got 598 XP, but basically he saved his team from it being a loss. He got them a draw simply because he was scooting around the outside of the map to get to the cap area, and once he was there, he was just popping out to fire the occasional round, popping back in before Sly could fire anything in return. Sly fired 17 rounds in that game, got 13 direct hits and 12 penetrations, damage of 7,150 hit points, all of it done at more than 300 meters. He received 23 hits from the enemy. It's an awful lot. You only need 11 to get the steel wall normally, but he took 23, 6 penetrations, 16 non-penetrations, yet he did get hit by quite a large number of shells, which actually did come in at the wrong angles and managed to pen him. And 1 hit by way of splash damage as well. 2,560 hit points of damage blocked by armor. He actually ended the battle on only 37 hit points. Only 37. That's all he had left, which is shocking if you consider how much he started with, which was 1,800. Yeah, rather a lot lost. 10 enemy vehicles were damaged, 6 were destroyed, and 1,950 hit points of damage assistance. He managed to get 53 defense points as well, so he wasn't far off getting a defender medal with the resets. On a premium account, he earned 60,547 credits from the game, 48,204 from personal reserves, 39,527 from personal missions payout, and an achievements award. That's the award for getting an epic or battle hero medal in a losing or drawn game, and this was a drawn one. He managed to get 3,725 credits from that. This is the award that's normally given to equalise you with that of the winning team, because after all, you put in a special performance to get an epic or battle hero medal, and therefore you deserve to get a higher score, and Wargaming acknowledge that. 184,139 credits altogether, and after repair and ammunition resupply took away 139,314 credits left at the end of the game to take away. 1,114 XP, 624 for the Achievements Award here, 1,304 from personal reserves, and took away 3,911 experience points altogether. I'm afraid really, well, he did incredibly well to survive as long as he did at the end of the game. And it was very uncomfortable when that Ferdinand turned up, but he's persevered, and but for the fact that that Scorpion was just so agile and able to quickly duck back into cover after taking a shot, he possibly might have got the win. I think actually, I feel personally after watching that battle, he probably could have returned to the cap a lot sooner, and if instead of actually dawdling around inside the village, of course his teammates were accusing him of not doing enough, if he'd actually returned to the village, I don't think the enemy tanks would have been able to get near him, but they would have had to have approached him in order to get at the cap. So he potentially threw away a win by staying too long in the village, but he managed to get out of the village without going all the long way around, and by doing so he did manage to get a reset, which of course gave them the draw. So well done to Sly, good battle, interesting battle, and it was very hectic towards the end. If you enjoyed both those replays, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, gets it noticed by other people, and thank you for watching.